What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and today we're going to be looking at Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company, ticker symbol TSM. This thing has been literally off to the races due to the fact of basically everything is exploding to the upside. Anything with the semiconductors, minus Intel. Intel kind of got smacked and got their lunch taken away on earnings, but with AMD, TSM, Nvidia, all those chip makers, even MU is kind of showing some kind of life here. Just trying to hold this line here. We can kind of look here at Intel. Again, this thing has been really kind of failed here. We kind of highlighted this on the live stream last night on Sunday. Basically looking for initial support around 50. If 50 can't hold, we're looking down to a little bit lower price around 45. That being said, we're currently trading pre-market around 51-ish, 51.17, around that price. Again, anything can happen once the market opens, but this is I'm not a fan of catching knives or just trying to be call the bottom here. So let's go back to let's look at AMD again. Been super strong here. We have earnings on AMD on Tuesday, looking for some potential upside, but a little worrisome that we've already seen the move in place, and we could be getting some consolidation here. Who knows? But we could just kind of see it rip higher and break above 73. 73 is going to be the next level if we want to break up to all-time highs. All right, let's go back to TSM real fast. So we saw a pretty interesting trade here. We'll walk through that in a second. We're just going to do some quick due diligence here on the chart. We're going to do some fib numbers here to kind of help you explain what we're looking at here. So we did the previous high to low here. That's the Fibonacci retracements. You kind of see here that we've broken through the 100 percentile move with the large gap up. We have broken through the 1272 extension as well, and we are well above the 618. Initially, next target was going to be basically 2618, which is going to be around $88. That is pretty significantly far away. Looking for potentially, again, this is going to be pretty much piggybacked off AMD and how Nvidia and all the other chip makers kind of report. But with a large gap up like this, we could see this continue to run. Looking at pre-market hours, we're looking here at $78. So this can easily get up to basically $80, and that 88 is basically the next ceiling resistance. This could be in a pretty explosive move just to see on those figures there, with the RSI being very overbought, but that doesn't matter if the thing really wants to run. We can kind of scan over here to the weekly side to kind of gauge on what could be happening here. We are looking at potentially peak topping here as well on the weekly side. This one's going to take a little bit more longer to form. We saw this here before where we had a large gap up, potentially looking for potentially some overhead resistance around 80. Basically being somewhat of a very round number for folks, so it'll be kind of easy for folks to kind of gauge off that. So looking for $80 to kind of be the first ceiling, basically just being a round number going forth. But this could easily run substantially higher come Tuesday into Wednesday due to the fact of AMD. If they have some really good numbers, this could really boost it higher up to 88. Can I buy it up here right now? I can't, not with my certain rules of trading. It's just been a little bit too far extended here for me, and I really missed the trade. We did trade it, basically another oopsies on my part. Basically, we traded it right around the $50 level here, sold it when it got to 56, 57, and just missed this whole run. This is, yeah, I didn't lose too much sleep over it. I did lose a little bit, but yeah. So looking for that basically $80 initially today. Potentially can go higher if that momentum really comes in. Because again, RSI and volume zone oscillator are just really screaming, and we can let those things just run for a little bit. Again, we can get that FOMO. Basically, that huge volume really came into Friday. Like we talk about, things don't level off on a Friday, so things can really see some movement come in today due to the fact of the fear of missing out, that FOMO, that people of just like needing to get in to the stock, that could easily run that up again to that 80, potentially in the next short to intermediate term to $88 if all things, all cylinders or all motors are going full throttle. So the trade that we're going to be looking at here came actually on Friday as well, around 10-ish o'clock. We're looking at basically someone who potentially sold the $80 call that's expiring the 31st, so this Friday. Then they bought about 2,000 calls all the way out in August 21st expiration. Again, 2,000 contracts, basically paying a debit. So we're taking about 290 is basically the overall debit that we're looking at. So 290 is a pretty substantial. Did I do that math right? No, I didn't. It would be 280, right? 280. So basically paying around a little over $420,000 for this particular trade going forth. And if it doesn't see how it works here, we'll see on how this overall plays out. Basically, they're just kind of they're saying like, okay, I don't think it's going to hit 80 by this Friday, but we're already looking at $78 as of right now. Again, that could be a little frothy. A lot of that FOMO can come in. We can kind of get a small bubble pop and kind of comes back down to somewhat to earth. Again, looking for initial support to the downside. Basically kind of coming in with this parabolic SAR. First line is going to be around $70, and then it's going to come a pretty strong line of significant support around $67. That's where the parabolic SAR has come in for support. That's going to basically really push this trend potentially even higher. This again, and then we can also look at some really other short-term support, basically really emphasizing that $70 level is going to be a very key level for this to continue if it comes down. So again, what does this look like? How does this play look out? Let's go ahead and bring over Tastyworks. As we talked about, someone is basically selling the $80 call here, or they could be buying it. Or they could be buying it. So if we just would buy this, this would be basically in the short to intermediate term looking at potentially a little over $500,000, and basically looking this stock is going to be a pretty substantial trade. This was super far the money. You can see the crazy amount of volume open interest that we have here. The volume has not procured yet due to the fact that we're in the pre-market hours. Again, options cannot trade pre-market, only between 9:30 and 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we can definitely see a lot of volatility come in here, because it basically, if we continue to hold this pattern, we're looking at $78 basically where it's currently at. This could easily kind of run up to here potentially. The only reason that we could think that this individual sold these is to kind of get a slightly significant slighter credit on it, but it was just a slow, low amount. Basically looking for just that movement to continue going higher. Again, those $75 calls all the way in August are really going to print a lot of money today, due to the fact of this is going to be basically in the money by significant amounts. And again, you can kind of see here the options market's trying to keep up, because it's trying to populate these different strike prices because the stock has just run up so much. So basically, you can theoretically kind of assume where this could be. This could be anywhere nearly double. This could be well over $4 a call this coming today if the market again continues, you can stay up at that $78 range. So this is a pretty significant trade. The only reason that we have to kind of wait to see what happens here on this call here. This is going to be definitely a lower end delta here. So we'll see on how that overall plays. Again, very bullish bet without a doubt on TSM, and again, very well worth it as we are looking at it right now. Basically, huge run up Friday. This individual trader investor is looking for this to continue. Initial thoughts could be around $80, kind of holding pattern. I kind of wait to see how AMD and some of the other chip makers perform today, and then this could be a nice run up to well over the $88 price target in the short to intermediate term. That being said, be very careful out there. We have so many different various earnings coming out this week. This could really switch things up, kind of really put a damper on some plays, and especially please don't buy straight calls into earnings, because again, that gets super dangerous, and the amount of theta and the overall IV crush can really just kill the account, even though the stock moves just slightly to a little bit. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!